4 ways women lose a good man and how you can avoid it. Pay attention. Let's get into it, ladies. Men, correct me if I'm wrong. Taking them for granted. A man been so good to you for so long, you no longer see the value in them. The value in how they treat you. Not communicating well or effectively. Like expecting men to read our minds and getting mad when they can't. Being dismissive about how you make him feel or being overly defensive in response to how he feels. Basically, not liking being held accountable for your actions and how you've made that man feel. Last but not least, being selfish and unwilling to compromise.
Most women have all these red flags and more. This is the reason men aren't approaching modern women, as you can spot most of these red flags from a distance. Whether she's taking selfies in front of a trash can, or wearing extremely revealing clothing, to how she treats the people around her. It's easy to spot these days for anyone with even a little experience in the game.
What happens with a woman in her 20s, she's out being promiscuous, has access to all these men, then she gets to 33, 34, 35, 36, okay, I'm ready. And now the guy, you're expecting him to be at 35 in his 40s, now that he has accessibility to all these women, you're expecting him to be monogamous, when you weren't. And I'm not saying cheating, but when I say promiscuous, you're out in all these relationships, being with all these men, and then he's like, here's his second or third relationship, and then all of a sudden he has Miss Fancy Pants come by and he slips and falls into it. Okay? I'm not making excuses. I am not, listen, I'm not saying it's right. This is the dynamic. When I was 18, 19, and 20, you're a walking saluting 24/7. The psychologist who said this, men at 18, 19, 20, every 3 seconds you're thinking about sex.
Do you like to be dominated in bed?
I like to be the dominator.
Really? So, if it were me and you, how would you dominate me in the bedroom?
I would tell you shut the fuck up
That's all?
while I'm choking you.
So, if you're going to choke me, are you going to be on top of me or
Exactly that.
what if it was all the way around? Would you like me to choke you?
Be on top of you and you choke me though.
I feel like I'm in the middle of this.
No, you know what? That's a little too sexual for me because whatever's in the bedroom happens in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But if it comes to dominator versus like a regular relationship, I'm kind of the person to tell you what to do.
It depends on the person.
So, let's say I was hitting it from the back, right? How hard should I pull your hair on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 10.
So, you want me to pull that shit out?
Do what you gotta do.
What if I put my thumb in your ass?
Depends how hard. Not just like
The whole thing.
go ahead and pull it back out.
And then put it back in
I'm
again?
like, do what you gotta do.
Put a microphone in front of a woman and she'll reveal her darkest secrets. It's funny, these same types of women will complain about not being able to find a dude as they get sexual with any random that walks up to them in the bar scene. High value women don't hang out in these places, let alone talk like this on a street podcast. It is what it is.
After getting her final results in her med school, she found out she officially passed, and this was the moment she recorded herself running to her mom's work so she could tell her that she's going to be a doctor. She ran for a long time, looking like a scene out of a movie, saying she was just so happy in this moment and in a state of shock. When she got to her mom's work, someone else filmed the moment after she told her mom the news, and safe to say, she was just as happy as her. Her grandpa is 95 years old, and his biggest dream is to have his granddaughter carry on his legacy of being a doctor. And this was the moment she got to tell him she got accepted into medical school.
I got into medical school.
You what?
You're going to medical school?
Oh, thank you, God.
How wonderful.
You, God. You are...
That's a bit racist.
Oh my god, no, you're one of those. How can you be racist against... And I'm also half white, so like, how can I be racist against you?
You don't think you can be racist towards someone who's white?
No, I don't, because you've never experienced racism in history.
White people haven't experienced racism.
One of the experiences...
What's your definition of racism?
I'd say basically like the persecution in any type of way that leads to the downfall of just like someone's life.
I wish I could have heard her first comment, but her definition of racism and her identity politics is beyond delusional. There are so many facts that refute her delusion, but since the media told her these empowering anti-white stories, it must be fact.
She's not interested. It's really that simple. If you are trying to contact a woman and you're getting delayed response, when a woman likes you, she will cancel plans. She responds immediately. She becomes available. When she doesn't really like you that much, she's unavailable. It's really that simple.
This is a simple truth. You should be more focused on your goals in life, though, and it shouldn't affect you emotionally. Not only does this attract women, but it will keep you on your purpose.
I think a person determines their value and their marketplace value, and whoever they entertain is going to be a reflection of how they value themselves.
If that was true, we would have less BBLs, less breast done, and less wigs. Okay? No.
Why?
Because women wouldn't
women
wouldn't want to look like other women in order to ascertain the men that they want.
Thank you.
Now,
sorry.
I'm confused as to how a woman wearing a wig or, getting a BBL has anything to do with how she values herself. And she maybe wants to change how she looks a couple times. But pause. Me wearing my hair differently has nothing to do with me trying to upsell myself to my husband.
Yes,
I'm just wearing my hair differently.
No,
don't say husband don't even like weed.
Don't say husband. A said, do you decide or does the market decide?
Yeah.
Most men don't date bald women, so women go get hair. Most women, I'm sorry, don't date broke women. Men go make money. So on and so forth. The market decides what you are and what's.
Y'all really think we get our hair done for y'all?
100%.
One of the reasons me and my ex actually broke up was because he wanted to integrate role play into the bedroom. Everyone know what role play is? Yeah. I bet you. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's basically just when you pretend to be someone else in the bedroom, right? And I wasn't against it. I just said, you need to give me some clear instructions. You need to let me know what you want me to do. And he was just like, Kyra, I don't care. You can make me whatever you want me to be. Just make it sexy. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of free reign there, But I started, and I got into it, and I was like, financially stable, he didn't like that. I don't really understand why. If you wanted a person, you should have stated that, because then I would have said your brother.
All that led up to the punchline, and then it never came. Like a fixed boxing match, the outcome was not that great. These feminist comedians really are terrible. There's no nice way of saying it. Just flat out terrible joke.
There are some things that I didn't know I was attracted to until I married my husband. First,
What's up?
Number one, laugh lines.
Honey.
I feel like I'm always trying to cover up every line I get and have, but when he laughs, he gets really deep ones right here and on his cheeks when he smiles.
Like this. Like these.
I love them. Next one, stretch marks.
Hey, careful, okay?
He has big stretch marks on his hips and his cheeks.
Honey.
And
It's that leg day. It's that leg. You see some of that?
And anytime I see those stretch marks.
Honey.
Number 3, when he gets called sir.
Oh.
Typically it's, from coworkers in his job. They say, yes, sir, whatever you need, sir. Thank you, sir. And anytime I hear it, it's just...
Oh, hey, all right, stop.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
Hi. Hey.
Last one, when he does his skincare.
Skincare.
No, it was an old 5-in-1 boy.
Hey.
Until he met
got the job done.
Until he met me. And now we have different products. We're using SPF. When I smell them,
In the life as a millionaire's wife living in Dubai, there really is no easy way to say this, but I was meant to be adored and cherished and loved and treated like a princess, and I won't accept anything less than that, and neither should you. Jamal told me to go do my nails, who drove me all the way to the salon and gave me some spending money whilst he takes care of some business. Is it just me, or the hardest decision is picking the colour? I always go to Harvey and Moon and they're the best. I ended up with pink chrome and little Swarovski crystals. Jamal loved them so much. A man is supposed to be romantic, so I let Jamal make the plans and I just follow along. He's always so willing to give me that soft girl life. He picked to go to the city walk for some dinner and we went to Sed. Usually the food is amazing here, but honestly I was slightly disappointed. The chicken was super chewy and the salad was super tasteless, but Jamal loved the dessert. Then, as a surprise, he took me to the Coca-Cola Arena to see Jack Whitehall. He's a comedian from the UK, and he got us front row seats. He's literally the best. Jack is always so funny and he really cheered me up after all the trauma that I've been through recently. Then to finish our night, we got some brownies which Jamal surprised me with. 10 out of 10 recommend.